Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Monday, March 27th, 2023, and I am here to go over the 8-game slate in the NBA tonight. First two things, if you would, hit the like button and then hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when the newest podcast has gone live. If you are new to DFS Coach Talk, we have our MLB opening day special. You're going to get the rest of the month of March and all of April for only $29. So you can join us, send Coach a DM at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter and ask about our MLB special, and we'll be glad to get you in there in our Discord. We have a very family-friendly, encouraging, positive community in our Discord. We do provide lineups for FanDuel and Yahoo, and we have a DraftKings core that we give out every night as well. So love to see you join us. Hope to see you soon. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the 8-game slate in the NBA tonight. The first game is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks at the Detroit Pistons at 7 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee is favored by 13. It has a 228 over-under. Now, they are favored by 13, even though they are without Drew Holiday, and, of course, Giannis is also out. So some big holes to fill there for the Bucks, but they've shown throughout the year when those guys are out, they've been more than capable. Are going up against a Detroit team with only 16 wins on the year, and they're dealing with quite a few injuries themselves. So you've got Giannis and Drew Holiday out. Dragic and Crowder look like they may play for the Bucks. And then for the Pistons, Corey Joseph and Rodney McGruder are questionable. Bojan Bogdanovic is out. Alec Burks is out. Hamidou Diallo is out. And Isaiah Stewart is out. So you've got a projected starting lineup for Milwaukee: Javon Carter, Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Jay Crowder, Brook Lopez. And then for the Pistons, Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Livers, Marvin Bagley, and James Wiseman. I would have thought that the Bucks would put Portis in the starting lineup, but it looks like they're going to keep bringing him off the bench, even though Giannis is out. Keep him in that spot where he's familiar with, and he should be able to produce, even though he's coming off the bench. On the Bucks, as you might expect, they're highly owned. You have Chris Middleton. He's 7,700 on DraftKings, 7,400 on FanDuel, $28 on Yahoo, 71.1% on DraftKings, 74.7% on FanDuel, and 74.6% on Yahoo. Overall, he is the highest projected owned player on the slate. Then you have Brook Lopez, 6,400 on DraftKings, 7,600 on FanDuel, $26 on Yahoo. Detroit has allowed the 7th most fantasy points to centers this year, and Brook has averaged 39.7 DraftKings points in his last 10 games. He's at 27.8% on DraftKings, 19% on FanDuel, and 24.4% on Yahoo. So not quite as chalky as Middleton and some of these other Bucks. Then you have Bobby Portis. He's 5,600 on DraftKings, 6,300 on FanDuel, $17 on Yahoo. Detroit has allowed the 10th most fantasy points to power forwards this year. He has averaged 35.8 DraftKings points in 15 games without Giannis in the lineup this year. And he did have 39.5 DraftKings points against the Pistons on January 23rd, even with Giannis in the lineup. But that game was a blowout, so Portis got extended minutes. Needless to say, though, he is in a good spot here. He is pretty chalky, 63.5% on DraftKings, 52.3% on FanDuel, and 37% on Yahoo. And you have Grayson Allen, not chalky, but he has been playing well. As a Bucks fan, I can tell you that. He's 4,400 on DraftKings, 5,100 on FanDuel, $11 on Yahoo. Detroit has allowed the 4th most fantasy points to shooting guards this year. He's coming in at 22.8% on DraftKings, 11.6% on FanDuel, and 12.8% on Yahoo. And then as far as value goes, you've got Javon Carter, another one of the highest owned players on the slate. He's only 3,400 on DraftKings, 4,800 on FanDuel, and only $10 min price on Yahoo. The Pistons have allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to point guards this year with Drew Holiday out. He's going to get a ton of usage. 78.2% owned on DraftKings, 47.6% on FanDuel, and 31.4% on Yahoo. And then on the Detroit side, not a whole lot of plays that I really like, but I do think Jaden Ivey is in a good spot. The shooting guard, hybrid shooting guard, small forward position has been what has given the Bucks the most trouble this year. So you've got Jaden Ivey. He's 7,100 on DraftKings, 6,100 on FanDuel, $22 on Yahoo. He did have 37.5 DraftKings points in that game against Milwaukee on January 23rd. Ownership-wise, he's below 2% on DraftKings projected ownership. He's 20.1% on FanDuel and 7% on Yahoo. So that is the first game. Let me go ahead and take a look at the chat and see what's going on. Oh, we got a bunch. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Nathan, Stacks, King of All Trades, Doug. Good to see you. Earl Pep Tyson. What's up, man? Absolute Power. Travis Wyndham. How's everybody doing today? Top 5 tops on DraftKings and best DraftKings center. I will get into that as we go. All right, the next game, Dallas Mavericks at the Indiana Pacers, 7 p.m. Eastern. The Mavericks are favored by 4, has a 238 over under. Looks like Luka Doncic will play for the Mavs. Maxi Kleber is questionable for the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton is expected to play. Miles Turner is also, looks like he's questionable. I think it said earlier that he was going to play, but he's now listed as questionable, so he's trending in the wrong direction. Chris Duarte and Buddy Hield are out for Indiana. So you've got for the Mavericks, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Josh Green, Reggie Bullock, and Dwight Powell. For the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin with Buddy Hield out, Aaron Nesmith, and Miles Turner. I don't really like anybody on the Mavericks. I have not liked how they've been playing lately. With Luka and Kyrie both in the lineup, it's hard to guess which one's going to have the biggest night, so I just kind of fade them both usually. And then on the Pacers side, I do like Halliburton a little bit. He's 9,100 on DraftKings, 9,800 on FanDuel, and $39 on Yahoo. So he's not quite as much as some of the other more expensive pay-up options. He did have 52.8 DraftKings points in Dallas on February 28th. Right now, he's at 15.4% on DraftKings, 9.5% on FanDuel, and 16% on Yahoo. And then Miles Turner, if he plays, he's in a good spot. He's 6,600 on DraftKings, 7,200 on FanDuel, $28 on Yahoo. He had 44.3 DraftKings points against the Mavericks back on February 28th. 7.9% on DraftKings, 8.8% on FanDuel, and only 2.8% on Yahoo. Then you have Benedict Mathurin with Buddy Hield out. He's 4,800 on both DraftKings and FanDuel and $11 on Yahoo. Next game is the Houston Rockets at the New York Knicks. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Knicks are favored by 13.5. Might be the highest favorite on the slate. I think it is. Yeah, they are. All right, so the Knicks are the heaviest favorite on the slate. Jason Tate is out for the Rockets, and Jalen Brunson, that's new. He's questionable. So it looks like he might be out tonight. So you've got for the Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jabari Smith, Alperen Sengun, Jalen Brunson if he plays, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Nobody on Houston that I really like. The only player I really like in this game is Julius Randle, especially if Brunson's out. He's 9,300 on DraftKings, 10-2 on FanDuel, and $40 on Yahoo. He did have 64.5 DraftKings points against the Rockets on New Year's Eve. He's 10.4% on DraftKings, 2.2% on FanDuel, and 14.8% on Yahoo. Next game is the Phoenix Suns at the Utah Jazz. So it's going to be an hour and a half later at 9 p.m. Eastern. Kevin Durant's still out for Phoenix. Looks like DeAndre Ayton should play. They're saying that he's probable, so he should be playing. He should be back in the lineup for the Suns. And then for the Jazz, Lauri Markkanen is questionable. Jordan Clarkson, Simone Fontecchio are out. Same thing with Rudy Gay and Colin Sexton. You've got for the Suns, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, Torrey Craig, and then DeAndre Ayton if he starts, which he should be back in the lineup. For the Jazz, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Ochai Agbaji, Lauri Markkanen if he plays, Kelly Olynyk, and Walker Kessler. I like Devin Booker in this matchup. He's going to be pretty low owned tonight. He's 10,000 on DraftKings, 10-1 on FanDuel, $40 on Yahoo. Utah has allowed the most fantasy points to shooting guards this year. He's averaged 58.8 DraftKings points in his last 5 games against the Jazz. He's only 4.7% on DraftKings, 5.5% on FanDuel, and 17.8% on Yahoo. So I do like Devin Booker. Not really anybody on the Jazz that I like. The Suns are pretty good defensively. So other than Devin Booker, you could fade this game. But I do like Devin Booker as a tournament pivot for your pay-up options. Cat's out. Okay. All right. That's good to know. Let's see. Where are we at? Philadelphia 76ers at the Denver Nuggets, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Denver's favored by 7. It has a 229.5 over/under. Big news here for the Sixers is that Joel Embiid is out. I know everybody was looking forward to seeing the Embiid Joker matchup, the MVP race, and everything winding down. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that. So it looks like it's going to pretty heavily favor Denver here. They are a 7-point favorite. I would say they probably could win by even more than that. They played really well against the Bucks on Saturday. The Bucks were tired, of course, on the back-to-back, but they looked really good. Denver looked really good. So I think Denver will win comfortably. All right, so Harden is questionable and Embiid is out. If those two are both out, it's really an uphill battle for Philly. You've got Michael Porter Jr. is listed as questionable for the Nuggets, so that hurts them a little bit. So the projected starting lineup, you've got Harden if he plays, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, and Paul Reed going up against the Joker. He's probably going to get in foul trouble, I would imagine, just like Brook Lopez did on Saturday. Then you have Jamal Murray, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. This game, I could see it getting out of hand if James Harden is out as well as Embiid. We know Embiid's out. That's obviously a huge blow for Philly. Goes without saying. And then if Harden's out too, I just don't think it's going to stay that close. If Harden plays, I think Philly can compete enough that Joker can get 60-plus fantasy points. Probably not going to get 70 to 80. I just don't think it's going to stay close enough for him to play the full game. But I do think the Joker is a pay-up option. Assuming that Harden is able to play. Next game is at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, the Pelicans at the Portland Trailblazers. Pelicans are favored by 11, has a 226 over/under. Jose Alvarado, EJ Liddell, and, of course, Zion Williamson is still out for the Pelicans. Looks like a bunch of people are out for Portland. Of course, Damian Lillard, they're winding towards shutting him down for the rest of the year. Jeremy Grant's out, Yusuf Nurkic is out, Anthony Simons is out, and Justice Winslow is out. Cam Reddish has a probable tag, so he should play. And then Trendon Watford, on top of everybody else, looks like he's going to be questionable, leaning towards not playing either. So, yeah, he's doubtful now. So, yeah, they're in a world of hurt. This game is quickly looking like a fade. I do like Brandon Ingram a little bit. He's 8,900 on DraftKings, 9,000 on FanDuel, $38 on Yahoo. He did have 59.5 DraftKings points against Portland on March 1st. He's at 17.1% on DraftKings, 17.7% on FanDuel, and $38 on Yahoo. Then you have CJ McCollum going back to Portland. He's 8,200 on DraftKings, 8,300 on FanDuel, $32 on Yahoo. He did have 48.8 DraftKings points against the Blazers on March 12th. So those are the two plays that I like from this game from the New Orleans side. On the Blazers side, you've got some pretty chalky plays. Start with Shaedon Sharpe. He's 6,200 on DraftKings, 7,200 on FanDuel, $15 on Yahoo. He's averaged 36.6 DraftKings points in the last 2 games without Damian Lillard. He's at 28.8% on DraftKings, 7.4% on FanDuel, and 46% on Yahoo. Then you have Drew Eubanks with Nurkic out. He's 4,300 on DraftKings, 5,200 on FanDuel, min price $10 on Yahoo. Very high owned, 55.1% on DraftKings, 61% on FanDuel, and 47.4% on Yahoo. Then you have the other highest owned player on the slate in Nasir Little. He's 3,800 on DraftKings, 4,300 on FanDuel, $10 on Yahoo, 78.2% projected ownership on DraftKings, tied with Javon Carter for the highest ownership on that site. 68.3% on FanDuel and 57.2% on Yahoo. Go ahead and take a look at the chat before we get into the last 2 games. Yeah, I mean, I do like both Little and Knox. You know, if Little is as chalky as he is, I mean, let me look and see what Knox's ownership is looking like. Yeah, Knox is not getting really any ownership. So, yeah, I guess I would lean with wait a minute. I had a filter on. Let me see something. Yeah, 0.2%. Yeah, Knox is not getting ownership. So in tournaments, I would lean with Knox. Cash and single entry, I would lean with Little. All right, the next game is at 10 p.m. Eastern, the Minnesota Timberwolves in Sacramento. Sacramento has a chance to clinch the playoffs in front of their home court. This game's going to be an awesome game to watch. If you have a chance, hopefully you can have a chance to watch this game because it's really going to be a lot of fun, I think. Karl Anthony Towns is out, as was mentioned earlier. Anthony Edwards, I think he's listed as questionable. So there's a chance they could be without both Anthony and Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Noel is also listed as questionable. And the Kings, looks like De'Aaron Fox is going to play, so they're pretty much healthy. So you've got for the Timberwolves, Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, if he's able to play, Jaden McDaniels, Taurean Prince, filling in for Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, De'Aaron Fox for the Kings, De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis. If Karl Anthony Towns is out, which he is, Anthony Edwards is definitely in play. He is, let's see, 8,800 on DraftKings, and he's 9,000 on FanDuel, and he's $37 on Yahoo. So, yeah, with Karl Anthony Towns out, Anthony Edwards is definitely in play. On the Sacramento side, you've got De'Aaron Fox. He's 8,400 on DraftKings. It's pretty cheap to me. 9,200 on FanDuel, $32 on Yahoo. He's averaged 46 DraftKings points his last 5 games against Minnesota. They have allowed the 7th most fantasy points to point guards this year, Minnesota has. And low ownership, 5.4% on DraftKings, 2.9% on FanDuel, and 13.8% on Yahoo. The other play I like here is Kevin Huerter. He's 6,700 on DraftKings, 6,800 on FanDuel, and $21 on Yahoo. He had 39 DraftKings points against the Timberwolves on March 4th. Very low owned, 3% on DraftKings, 3.8% on FanDuel, and only 5% on Yahoo. Last game of the night, Chicago Bulls at the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers are favored by 4.5. It has a 220.5 over under. By the way, the last game, the Timberwolves and the Kings, that had the highest over under on the slate at 240 and 240, and the Kings are favored by 5.5. So for the Bulls and the Clippers, like I said, the Clippers are favored by 4.5. It has a 220.5 over under. Alex Caruso is listed as questionable. Looks like Kawhi Leonard has now been downgraded to probable, so he should still play, but he wasn't listed at all earlier, so that's a little interesting. Then you have for the Bulls, Javonte Green out, and Alex Caruso is questionable. All right, so for the starting lineups, Patrick Beverley, Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic for the Bulls, and then for the Clippers, Russell Westbrook, Eric Gordon, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, and Ivica Zubac. Not a whole lot here for me in this game. This game's not drawing a lot of ownership in general. I do like Zach LaVine. He's 8,700 on DraftKings, 8,900 on FanDuel, $35 on Yahoo. He had 51.5 DraftKings points against the Clippers on New Year's Eve, which was the last time they played. He's averaged 48.7 DraftKings points the last 5 times that he's faced the Clippers. He's at 5.7% on DraftKings, 4.2% on FanDuel, and 7.2% on Yahoo. Then you have Kawhi. He's 10-1 on DraftKings, 10-3 on FanDuel, $41 on Yahoo. He had 60.5 DraftKings points against the Bulls on New Year's Eve. He's at 5.6% on DraftKings, 9.5% on FanDuel, and seeing the most ownership at 26.8% on Yahoo. So DraftKings and FanDuel pretty low owned. Yahoo not quite so much. He's fairly highly owned on an 8-game slate on Yahoo at 26.8%. Let me take a look at the chat. Yeah, every Sacramento game is great for DFS, king of all trades. When we were looking at possibly having, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, all those guys in for the Timberwolves, it's a little bit, you have to guess who you think is going to have a great game. But if Edwards is out, or Towns is out, and if Edwards is out, then there's definitely some value there in a high-paced, high-scoring game for sure. And then with the Kings, they have pretty much everybody, but it's fairly easy to identify who their top scorers are. Lately, it's pretty much been Sabonis, Fox, and Kevin Huerter. So Harrison Barnes has been playing pretty well too. And that's it for the 8-game slate. As far as PrizePicks goes, I do like Jamal Murray, more than 34.5 fantasy score. He's averaged 38.8 fantasy points in his last 5 games. Now that's going to be depending on if James Harden plays. If James Harden's out, I would just fade that play. I don't know if he's going to have enough minutes to get to 34.5, but if Harden plays, I think it'll stay close enough for him to get there. And then the other play is going to be Kevin Huerter, more than 27.5 fantasy score. Like I said, he had 38 fantasy points, FanDuel points, if you will. That's what PrizePicks uses for NBA scoring, is FanDuel. So 38 fantasy score against the Wolves on March 4th. So like him more than 27.5. And that is everything. If anybody has any last minute questions before I get out of here. Lean towards Gobert. Yeah, I could see that. Sacramento, they've given up some points to power forwards and centers, and so yeah, I think Gobert could have a nice game for sure. Eubanks is the chalky center. All the value and everything with Portland. He's the chalky center. I also like Miles Turner if he plays against Dallas. And the Joker, of course. But if that game stays close enough, it's going to be the key. All right. Well, that is going to do it for the 8-game slate. We'll have our usual lineups for FanDuel and Yahoo and our DraftKings core posting at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. So I hope everybody is able to get those. And like I said, if you haven't joined us yet, you can join us. Send us a DM on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. Let us know that you're wanting the MLB special, and you'll get the rest of the month of March and all of April for just $29. So great deal. Hope you guys take advantage of it. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Tomorrow, Deb should be in. It's Tuesday, so Deb should be in doing the podcast for y'all. So hope everybody has a great night, and we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA, DFS, and PrizePicks. Thank you.